we can't talk about friendships without like also like remembering healthy boundaries, because I think what I see most in my life, like professionally and personally and like in stories I hear, is like I think friendships sometimes fall apart because we've had poor boundaries, and especially like we develop toxic friendships or codependent friendships, and then we're like shocked when things are not going well, and I think it's really okay to have like I have a friend who says, fences make great neighbors, that like we just want to have boundaries with each other. Like we're not going to take advantage of each other, but we're not going to let ourselves be taken advantage of. We're going to be willing to say no or yeah, and like trying to be really healthy with, our friends cannot fill every void or hole we have. That's Jesus's job. And I think sometimes I see that, where it's like, oh, this friend devastated me. But then when we rewind a bunch, we see where all these boundaries became enmeshed and skewed and lopsided, whereas I think we want to just remember like the purpose and the goal of friendship. It's to do life together, it's to encourage each other, to be at peace with each other. And I see that going wonky a lot.
Gosh, Katie, you just read my mind. I was
Hmm.
just going to talk about a friendship that I had for years, and it was my fault that I didn't have boundaries because I wanted so bad to have a friend that
Yeah.
I allowed a friend to control me.
Yeah.
And everything, I was like, I would always pass it to her, and it probably made her weary too. But yeah, and that was a lot on me because I didn't create and maintain those boundaries. I've talked to people over my in my profession that that very thing happened.
Yeah, and it can be scary because I think the key words were like you really wanted that friendship. You wanted to have a bestie, and I think that's the heartbeat of like I've never met a person who didn't want to be known, And so it can feel devastating when you're searching for that and then you find somebody and it's toxic. But sometimes you don't know it's toxic until you're in it. Mhm. I think because a lot of us have grown up, I think, learning like we want to make people happy. We need to say yes. We can also, do you guys ever feel like you're like, well, I could do it? It's like, oh, can you do this for me? Can you do this? And it's like, yeah, I can. But like, should I? No. And I think that's a balance. That's that boundaries of like learning your, boundaries of who you are and making sure that, you're protecting yourself. And I think a lot of times we've not learned how to do that.
Mhm.
Your support means so much. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can keep growing this community together.